Wild Boy's just a boy with hair all over his body. He's just covered with hair.
He looks like a human being, but then his fur, his hair covers everything.
A lot of like red crimson hair that just goes down, and his eyes are like the same colour of emeralds.
At first they hate him because they think he's a monster.
Everyone else would think he's a monster, but if you really get to know him, you'll see that he's not a monster, he's actually a hero in a way.
He's not scared of no one, even though he's like that. He has that face, he has full of hair on his face, and he looks so different to everyone else.
He had a good heart.
The fact that he looks different kind of relates to everyone, and everyone in our school from different parts of the world.
For some time in this school, we have been conscious of the fact that many pupils, many boys don't read, and we've been aspirational to try to encourage young people to read. So between myself and the head of English, we came up with the idea that it might be positive if we bought them all a book, if we gave them a gift.
The main aim of the project was to really sort of launch and celebrate a culture of reading at Newman Catholic College. So the idea is everybody reads and everybody's reading is valued. We let them vote. So the first thing that they did is we gave them 3 options.
We kind of presented the covers, brief synopsis of what they were all about, and kind of unanimously everyone chose Wild Boy.
Wild Boy was our favourite as a department, and so we were all really delighted when Wild Boy won. And it was lovely when we announced it to the whole of Year 7 and 8 that Wild Boy had won. And everybody just cheered spontaneously, so all the kids who voted for it cheered. And it was such a kind of affirming moment when you actually see boys excited about reading.
In this book, there's constant action, like it never stops.
It's something like Sherlock Holmes, like mystery.
There were sad bits, like dramatic bits.
It's very fun as well.
It's full of suspense, it's educational.
Happy bits.
I really liked the bits where they got in trouble and they were running together.
It's written so well and it's so fast that it whips along really fast, like a film really.
The language is fantastic, the structure, the build-up, the tension, the cliffhangers at the end of the chapters, loads of action.
Southwark, London, May 1838. That night, the night the showman came, the moon was the colour of mud. Above the houses, the sky turned from black to dingy brown as a thick fog crept over the city. The monstrous mud-brown cloud rose from the river. It slithered over the rooftops, curled around the gas lamps and smothered their lights to ghostly orange globes. It crawled along the riverbank, swallowing the warehouses, the workhouses and the tumble-down, tarry-black houses that leaned over the dark water. Doors were bolted, shutters slammed. Even the rats in the alley froze in fright as the cloud came rolling in. The fog swallowed everything, but not the showman. We have had a whole school read of a book, a very wonderful book called Wild Boy by a new author.
We thought that as it's the first time we've had a whole school read programme, we wanted something to commemorate this and have some sort of legacy remembrance of the Wild Boy experience.
In the morning session, I asked the students to, using parts of the text that I'd picked out that described key characters and key places, to make a silhouette and to fill the silhouette with those passages of text. As a group, we cut out those different elements and set them onto the bench itself so we could pick a suitable composition. Then we started to paint the bench together. And so all the colours are kind of negotiated as a group. The idea was to demonstrate their understanding of the book and to let their mind's eye, the characters that they'd built up in the process of reading that book, to let those characters shine through.
Yesterday we painted a bench. It's like a book bench, and we draw some picture in a paper, and we like traced it on the bench. Then we colored. When I tried to draw it, I tried to print exactly picture while thinking in my mind. When I read in the book the paragraphs, there was some information about Valboy, and that's what I drew.
I drew Clarissa. I also drew Mr. Griffin's laboratory, and it had like potions in like different shapes and things like that.
I designed the map. So you know the London, the River Thames bit. Yeah, I did that.
The wild boy was in the freak show, so I had to draw a tent.
Everybody was able to cooperate together and like make all little pieces of scrap of art into one big piece of work.
Just been spectacular. It's really exciting to work with them because their ideas are really fresh and really imaginative. It's great to be part of something that feels like it's evolving entirely organically. They really organise themselves really cooperatively, plus came up with some really fantastically imaginative and really visually descriptive designs that just really reflect a keen imagination, original imagination.
Our boys can just completely and utterly empathise really with the idea of being, outside of society, of maybe being bullied.
We have many children who come from all over the world, and they come to London in large part looking for a better life, but obviously leaving many happy memories behind, family, home, schools, etc. So we felt at the time that it struck a chord with many of the personal experiences of our boys. They could understand the loneliness of the outsider.
So there's so much in it, and the idea about friendships and the ups and downs in Clarissa and Wild Boy's friendships and the prejudice, it fed in marvellously to all of the issues that our boys are facing in their own lives.
His journey was the most important thing, discovering that he isn't just an object and he has gifts and talents. It was the idea that coming from nothing or being oppressed and then actually discovering that you are talented and you're involved in this big mystery and you end up being the hero, I think is perfect. It's a great motivation for many students, especially at a boys' school.
The lesson in the book is like, don't give up, and no matter what you look like or who you are, don't treat people differently.
Everybody has different features, different personalities. Everybody is different in a way. You must treat everybody the same as you like to be treated yourself.
Everyone's equal, doesn't matter who you are or what country you come from, we're all the same.
It's basically trying to say that we should like accept everyone like equally.
In years to come, you'll return to this school as teenagers, as young men, as parents hopefully, and you'll see the book bench beautifully illustrated to represent the themes of the Wild Boy book. Maybe you've even been part of the painting process yourself, and it's something to point out to people around you, to our community. I was involved in this programme. So it's an active remembrance really, and it's fun and it looks great as well.